Welcome back to Regen Rovers. Today it is episode 140 and we're going to be taking on Spurs in the Community Shield. That's right, we're going back to Wembley. Of course, in the last regular episode of the series, we defeated Wolves in the FA Cup final in dramatic fashion on penalties. If you missed it, maybe go and check it out. I know I've already spoiled the result, but you should have watched it by now. We've had a few days to watch. I've been away. It was Jenny's birthday and we went to Bath, a beautiful city. And although it's got no relation to this episode, I thought I'd do a Paul's Big Day Out because I did say I'd bring it back. So Bath is today's Paul's Big Day Out. Wonderful city. It really is beautiful. I'll just go through the pre-season results as I talk about Bath. It's just... oh, it's stunning. We stayed in the middle, which was lovely. We found a nice hotel, which wasn't ridiculously expensive because most Bath hotels are. Jenny spotted it in a magazine. So, yeah, it was a lovely weekend away, and I'd highly recommend going to the city of Bath. It's honestly in my top 5 favourite UK cities. It's great. It really is. Anyway, let's get on with enough of that. Let's get on with today's episode. So, yes, we're going to be taking on Spurs at Wembley in the Charity Shield, it's called the Charity Shield in Football Manager. That's the old name, isn't it? It's called the Community Shield these days. These are the past winners. All big. I mean, imagine us. Spurs actually haven't won it, but Regen Rovers. That would look good, wouldn't it? But Spurs won the league last season at a canter. They are an exceptional team. They've currently got Niko Kovac in charge of the club as manager. 5-star worldwide reputation team. It's going to be tough. Now, next episode will be the start of the Premier League season. There's a lot to discuss, really, because it has been a busy old pre-season. You can see there's been plenty of transfers. I guess the headline news, if you can call it headline news, but for me it is Morgan Fawkes has retired from football altogether. I was hoping he would become a coach at the club, but he has just decided to retire from the game completely. Of course, he was an absolute hero in the first 3 seasons. He was our top goal scorer in the first season. He's finished as our 6th all-time top goal scorer as it stands anyway. He's got 55 goals in all competitions for the club. It only says 44 here because I think that's league goals. But then it says 30. It's wrong, really, because it says Morgan Fawkes has spent his entire career at Dartford. What is going on? Football Manager, are you drunk? He was at Dartford. He was on loan for us for the first 2 seasons. Then after that, he was a fully fledged Regen Rovers player on and on contract for years, helping out. He did some cleaning. He did a bits and pieces around the club when we were sort of lower down in the Football League pyramid. So I just want to pay tribute to him. The other player we need to pay tribute to is Ray Rigg. We took Liverpool on in a testimonial for our legendary midfielder Ray Rigg. Maybe legendary is a bit strong. Lots of games for the club in the early days. I think he's made under 200 appearances. It's far fewer than Fawkes made in all competitions, but he left before I managed to give him a testimonial, unfortunately. But it was nice to give Ray Rigg a testimonial. We lost 4-2. He was actually injured for the game. I had to play him with an orange injury, which was a bit unfortunate for him, so he wasn't able to star. I wanted him to score a free kick, but it wasn't to be in the end. So those 2 players, got to pay tribute to them. Ray Rigg is still here in the under-23 squad at the age of 31. David Okoro has signed a new contract, by the way. He's going to be here until 2036 at the very least. Be great if he could become a coach in the end, but yeah, he's still our 3rd choice goalkeeper. Much of the squad still looks the same. One notable player that has left is Dave Barnes. Now, it's a bit of an annoying story, this, because I tried to get him back on loan from Arsenal. I tried to increase the loan to this season. They wanted to play him in the first team, but they changed their mind. And I thought, well, let's see how much they want for him, just out of interest. And they wanted about £85 million for him, 90 million or something ridiculous. However, obviously I couldn't afford that. But then suddenly they were willing to loan him out again. So I put a loan bid in. So did Huddersfield. They must have withdrawn their loan bid, but for some reason I was unable to withdraw my loan bid because they then suddenly put a cheeky bid of £25 million in, which was accepted, and I thought, oh, I need to put a bid in here. I can afford £25 million, definitely. But I couldn't withdraw my loan bid, so I was unable to put in a bid. It was looked broken. It was weird. So Huddersfield got him. And it's really annoying because he was fantastic for us last season. Really good midfielder. We've signed a different midfielder for £25 million, but he's not quite as good, but he's got the potential to be just as good. Let's just quickly go through the players that have been sold. So Jerry Shriver, this is really frustrating as well. He finished, I think, 3rd in the Player of the Season award last year. He got, how many assists? 9 assists, 6 goals, good penalty taker for us. Really good average rating last season, an improvement on his first season for the club. But I didn't realise he had a release clause. £6.75 million. And Huddersfield, annoying again. Huddersfield have done the dirty on me twice. And they're going to be a bit of a rival this year, I think. They're a Premier League club. And that's really frustrating because he would have been our first choice left back this season. And yeah, he's not going to be. Deratic has left the club, our Serbian. Joined for the club for £1 million. We've made profit. I mean, at least we made profit on Shriver as well. So it's not too bad. Bit of profit for both these players. The one player that we're not going to get any profit for is Michael Boyd, who we signed for £1.2 million. He's a 3rd choice right wing. I think it'd actually be 4th choice this season because I've signed someone else. So he's gone out on loan to Motherwell. I think there's a chance of him being a permanent transfer at some point for £100,000 if he plays 20 games. Not entirely sure, because I think he was upset with the contract offer from them. So I'm not entirely sure what is happening there. But he has left the club on loan for the time being. And Marko Kavcic, a complete flop for us. But we have made a decent profit. Braga bought him for £2.9 million. I think it's rising to 3.6 or potential to rise to 3.6. So yeah, he scored how many goals? 4 goals in his first season in all competitions. 1 goal last year. Complete flop. Just didn't work out for him, unfortunately. Maybe if I'd given him more time up front as a starter or tried him on the wing possibly, it might have been better. But I just thought I need to cash in on him. Now, players coming into the club then. So, the first transfer was, at the time, a record transfer. Carly Navarrete, a Spanish ex-under-21 international. 15 goals in 13 games at that level. From Sevilla. He's been there his whole career. He's played for sort of the youth teams on and off. He's played a few games for the first team last year. So it's a bit of a gamble signing him for £14 million. But I personally think this is an absolute bargain. Look at him. He's a quality complete forward. He plays in an advanced forward as well. He's got free kick ability. He can dribble. He's first touch. He's technical. He's fast. He's powerful. He's strong. How tall is he? I always forget to look how tall he is. These players are. Where does it say how tall? Oh, there we are. 179 centimetres. Oh, he's sort of 5'11" then, isn't he? And worth more than we paid for him. He's our biggest earner at the club, though, £74,000 a week. But I really like the look of him. Tarasenko, Volodymyr Tarasenko, a Ukrainian international. 2 goals in 32 games for Ukraine. He's in his prime. He's 26 years old. Strangely, he moved from Ukraine to Mexico for £2.8 million, where he's played pretty well, as you'd probably expect at that level. It's a very odd move. But I found him. My scouts had found him, in fact. And I thought, yeah, he looks decent. He can do a job. He's going to basically replace Dave Barnes in the middle. And he's also a free kick and corner specialist, as you can see. Passing, vision, technique. There's some really good attributes there. He's determined. He's got flair. There's something about him that I really like. And once again, he's worth a lot more than we paid for him. And one of the higher earners at the club, but those are the sort of wages we're going to have to pay these days. David Okoro, by the way, £1,500 a week to be our 3rd choice goalkeeper. Amazing. Now, Perry Boyles, you might think, why is he on this list? Well, he left the club for about a day because I thought he'd just go on to like a non-contract, but he just left. But I gave him a new contract. It is £5,000 a week, but we can't let him go. We just can't let him go. He had a decent season in the National League last year. He'll only play in the Hampshire Senior Cup this season. There's not really much point loaning him out, to be honest. I just thought I'd give him some first-team football because he hadn't had any for a few seasons. But now he's refreshed. He's back. Next player, really good free transfer. Jerko Duranja, a Croatian international. Friends with Tasakovic, I reckon. 6 goals in 17 games for his country at the age of 25. He's approaching his prime. He's played for Juventus the last few years after leaving Dynamo Zagreb for £5.25 million, but it's never really been a starter for them. He's just played a few games here and there, but decent goals records in the last couple seasons considering how few games he has played. And he had a good pre-season with us. He's managed to score No, he didn't score. He got 3 assists, sorry, in pre-season, and he also has scored at international level in pre-season. I think he's this player that can play as a deep line forward. He's played well as the complete forward in my new tactic. Well, it's not a new tactic. I've changed this role to suit Navarrete, to be honest. And he got 3 assists from that position. So I think he's a decent... He could be a starter. He could be second choice. Or third choice or fourth, whatever. I haven't really decided yet. Now, this signing, it's a little bit odd. Now, Kuz is going to be our first choice left back this season, quite simply because Shriver has left. I've not been able to find... I've always traditionally found it very hard to find fullbacks, and if you find a really good fullback, they're always ridiculously expensive. Fullbacks are just one of those key positions these days, and I really find it hard to find any. So Kuz is going to be given the chance... Oh, he's Croatian as well, so he's friends with Duranji. He's been capped. He's going to be given the chance as first choice left back this year, now that Shriver's left. Now, our second choice left back is a 17-year-old on loan from Blackburn, who have been relegated to the Championship. You might think that's very strange. His first few games in English football not great, but remember he was 16, 17 years old. The reason why I've loaned him because we need a backup left back. I did want to sign him permanently, but they wanted stupid money for him, like £80 million or something, because he has real potential. I think he's not a wonder kid, but I would say he's a wonder kid because he really does. At the age of 17, he's got these attributes. He looks really good. So we'll see if he can improve that position. Maybe he'll be first choice. Kuz might not play very well. Now, new record signing. So Navarrete was record signing until Guillaume van den Broek turned up, a Belgian wonder kid. That is the key word. Now, remember, he is a wonder kid. So he's got real potential here. Yes, it is a hell of a lot of money. Maybe not in this day and age, but it is a lot of money for a player that has hardly played any first team football. Look at this. A few seasons ago, he must have been incredibly young. He must have been about 15, 16. He did appear in the league for Club Brugge. Didn't play the following season. Season after that, 2 appearances in all competitions, one in Europe, one in the league. Last season, a semi-breakthrough season for him, but not really, because he only played 9 times in all competitions. Good average rating. He scored a goal. It's a hell of a lot of money for a player that just hasn't played, even in the Pro League in Belgium. It is a gamble, but I like the look of him. He's going to be playing as a central midfielder. I've changed the box-to-box midfielder role. It just wasn't really working last year. Flanagan didn't pick up very good average ratings. Maybe that's because of him rather than the role. I'm not sure. But Van den Broek's going to play as a normal central midfielder. I think he's just a good all-rounder. He can do everything, but his physicals are really good, actually, I think. He's pacey, he's got stamina, balance, agility, not bad strength for a 19-year-old. I like him, and he can improve. Yes, it's the biggest gamble of the lot from our transfers because he's young. And the next player, people were saying, I'll go to South America, have a look at South American play. So what I simply did was I went to the Brazilian under-21 or under-20 team. I think it must be an under-20 team. I found this chap, Christian, a right winger, also 19 years old. We've made some young signings, haven't we? But that's good. I like youth, Regen Rovers, that's what we're all about. The younglings, of course. And although he can't really... Well, he's more of a winger than a right midfielder. I think I like him. He's only 19. He's got quality. Signed for £6 million. And he's worth more than that already. He's only on a rotation contract as well, so he's not bothered about starting every single game. Yeah, I think he can turn into a decent player. So this is the team for this season. We've still got the legendary Mark Ball up front, of course. Alan Stewart's still in the team. We've still got Nunez. Serenity, our youngster still, he's 20 now though. Cochrane and Clark, we've got options at right wing and also new signing Christian, of course. At left wing, we've got Sakovic and Nunez. I haven't managed to improve that position really. Well, I haven't at all, of course. The defence hasn't improved either. If anything, it's got slightly weaker. But I'm happy with the options there. There might be some more transfers before the end of the transfer window. Of course, we do have a week until Newcastle. I think the transfer window probably ends on Thursday. Yep, it does. So that's why next episode will be the first 2 games of the season. Away from home against Newcastle, at home against Wolves. There might be a couple transfers, we'll see. There might not be anything. You'll have to wait and see for that. But Spurs today, it's likely to be a loss. let's be honest. They have beaten us 5 times. We've managed to draw against them once. They're the favourites, obviously. They've won the league at a canter last year. They've got some exceptional players worth huge amounts of money. But I like the look of my team. And this is the team that's going to be playing Spurs today at Wembley. Chef has driven us up once again, of course. So, Adrian Smith still our number 1. Rey Henriquez, Rios, Loda and Raymond Kuz is our new back 4. It's pretty much the same apart from Kuz coming in. The midfield, I'm sticking with Luke Clark for this one. He's got the experience on right wing. He played very well last season, so he deserves to keep his place. Christian's on the bench. He'll be hoping to dislodge him. A new midfield partnership of Van den Broek, our Belgian wonder kid, and Tarasenko, our Ukrainian, who's got quality. I hope he can live up to that quality. And Nunez on the left-hand side, who had a good season last year. Navarrete, our new Spanish striker. I've got high hopes for him, and he's going to play alongside club captain Mark Ball. I'll go through all of the Premier League preview stuff in the next episode when we actually start the Premier League. I'll just quickly go through this Spurs team who are exceptional. You may have noticed we went on a Chinese pre-season tour. Interesting, just trying to tap into that Chinese Premier League market, I suppose. I don't think we lost a game. Had a good pre-season. A lot of the new players integrated well. A couple of players have only been signed recently, so they haven't really integrated into the club yet. By the way, Mark Ball is club captain still, but Will Loader is vice captain these days. We've got a few other players with decent sort of captain material quality to them as well. We've got set piece takers galore, loads of free kick takers. We relied on Ray Rigg for years with 15 on free kicks, but we've actually got 3 players with 16 on free kicks this season, which is brilliant. And we've also got a couple decent corner takers. But this is going to be tough. A test. It'd be great to win a nice little competition. Community Shield. All the money goes to the community, of course. That's what today's all about. But it'd be nice to win something at Wembley. But it's very unlikely against this Spurs team. It's likely to be a comfortable win for Tottenham Hotspur. But at the moment, it is boring. I'm actually playing the home tactic. I'm being brave at Wembley in a neutral setting. Maybe it's stupid, I don't know, but we're going with it. We're pushing the defence up. It seems to be working at the moment. I'm just going to say get creative. That's inspired them. This is a boring game to start the season at the moment. I mean, the Community Shield generally is a bit boring. Most players don't want to get injured ahead of the Premier League season. And it often goes to penalties, doesn't it? I swear I've seen a few that finish like 0-0 or something and gone to penalties. I might be wrong. I might be misremembering that. But that is the dullest first half ever. Happy with the defence, I suppose. Not conceded anything. So you've not seen any of the new players do anything yet, unfortunately. Navarrete tries to go for a dribble, but he's tackled instantly. And that's through, but easy for Adrian Smith, who decides to punt it up the pitch. First highlight of the game then. 60 minutes in, half an hour to play. And this is the first bit of action we have seen. Here's Samuel for Spurs down the right-hand side, crossing it in. Great defending by Rios. But Rey Henriquez gives away a penalty. What? Rios, you cleared it. And then Rey Henriquez, what is he doing? Villar to take the penalty, and he's punted it into the back of the net. But absolutely bizarre from Rey Henriquez. Our right back. I don't understand what he was doing. Well, I'm going to make a change. Christian's going to come off for Clark. We're going to push him up. Nunez will move forwards as well. We might as well... We'll leave it unbalanced. Mark Ball's not done anything today, has he? We'll bring on Alan. Oh, we'll leave him on for the time being. Be a bit of a shame if it's a penalty that decides this game. Although Villar is through again, it's a good tackle this time by Rey Henriquez. Another opportunity maybe for Spurs. They've come alive in this second half. But it's still been a pretty boring game. Here's Wagner. Crossing it in, headed away by Rey Henriquez this time. Hurst has the shot, it's blocked around. Where's... Christensen scores, but the defenders, I think they didn't know where the ball went. Very strange. And, well, this was predictable, I suppose. They were likely to win in the end. I'm bringing on Alan Stewart. Well, I think we can write this game off. It was unlikely that we'd be able to do anything today. Maybe going with the home tactic was a little bit too brave, but then again, we were comfortable until they scored that penalty, weren't we? We might as well leave. I'm not going to go attacking. I don't want it to be a complete thrashing. Here comes Spurs, though, looking for a third. Djurdjevic to Howell. Running at our back line. Good tackle by Tarasenko. Easy chance for Villa. 3-0. Not the best start to this season. It's going to ruin our morale a little bit, isn't it? I was expecting... The Spurs are just ridiculously strong. They really are. I don't know if there's any way to beat them. I think they only lost 1 or 2 games last year in the league. Well, there we go. Sorry it was this. We didn't even have a notable chance. We didn't do anything, which is really poor. I'm going to say unlucky just because it was Spurs. I don't want to destroy their morale. It's already fairly low after that, which is a little bit annoying. Well, there we go. Anyway, thank you for watching that disappointing match. We had plenty of people turn up. It was mainly Spurs fans, strangely, because the FA Cup was half and half. But for this one, Spurs. Interesting. Now, if you didn't watch or if you don't follow Regen Rovers on Twitter, or you didn't watch the end of season review, brilliant news. The new stadium is being built. And it's going to be completed in June 2035, so at the end of 2 seasons' time, basically. Which is a shame. It's going to take a while. Hopefully, we'll have time to play 1 season in that new stadium. Possibly more. It depends if I continue the series into FM20, of course, into that cycle. It really, I don't know. I'm undecided at the moment. The youth facilities and training facilities also being improved. We're in a good financial position. We're still well under budget, and as you can see, we've got all that money. We haven't had to take out a loan or anything for the stadium, but it does mean I want to keep this balance high, because we don't want to have problems because our finances drop and then we can't afford the stadium, or we have to take out a loan, or blah 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 blah. I'm hoping they've already spent that money, but I don't think so. I think that will come out of this, but I don't really know. I mean, there's a lot of costs, but it's the transfer expenditure that from this month is why we've made a big loss, 10 million. But it's only 10 million despite spending all that money. So I suppose that's positive. But I think we'll end it there. Next episode is the proper start of the Premier League season. Thought I'd introduce some new players today and show you that Charity Shield match. It was likely to be a loss, and in the end it was comfortable for Spurs. But there we go. Until next time, enjoy FM19. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you very soon.